You can stand out and go out into the face of any kind of evil, the face of any kind of difficulty, and trust that you dwell in the shadow of the Most High. He will protect you. He'll protect your money. He'll protect your health. He'll protect your family. He will do that. As a matter of fact, today I'm going to ask two people that were on our mission trip to Africa to just share about even when we make mistakes, God steps in and protects. So ladies, if you would please come forward. And John, they're going to be using this last microphone. Come, and you can stay down there if you want, or come on up here. So let me just set the scene. We were staying in the city of Monrovia, and we're planning a church out in Bamboo Town, which is on the other side of Monrovia, out in the bush, and you got to go through the center of town in the middle of market day and rush day and all of this. And if you've ever been in New York City in a traffic jam, that's like an open freeway compared to most African cities. And so we were on our way to go out and do some teaching in the villages in Bamboo Town. And so ladies, would you just share the incident that we had?
Oh my gosh, yes, the psalm so applies to the situation, how God just takes care of you and He's always there no matter what happens. So our pastor decides that it would be good to just leave his wallet full of $13,000 at the hotel lobby. And we're about an hour and a half out in this huge market. There's nothing that can probably describe it. All the people are out. There's traffic jams everywhere. It should only take about maybe 10 or 15 minutes to get to Bamboo Town. It took us an hour and a half to get to the edge of the city. And we realized that our pastor goes, well, where's my wallet? And nobody can find it. And he's like, okay. Well, we started praying and just asking God, you know, this is going to be safe. This is okay. This is under your control. And we just knew it when we were praying. And here we're heading back. It's about another hour and a half in this crowded center city with this market going on. And we get stopped by a policeman who notices we don't have our seatbelts on. Because it's market day in Monrovia. Marilyn's going to tell the rest of the story, how God just worked for us. Yeah.
Well, you know, the cops got nothing better to do than to stand on the side of the road and watch you sitting there because you can't go anywhere, and look in and see all these American people with no seatbelts on. And suddenly, it's against the law to be driving and riding in a car with no seatbelts on, so he got his fair share that day. But we got back to the hotel, and Pat ran in, and Reverend Thomas went in, and they went and talked to, you know, I don't know the whole story what happened inside, because we were sitting out there waiting and praying, God, please help us find that money. And it turned out that the man, he wasn't young, but the man that was working the counter that day in the hotel watched us sitting there, watched Pat get up and leave his wallet sitting on the table. So he very kindly went over and picked the wallet up and took it and put it behind the counter. And it turns out this man who did all this for us was a pastor in one of the local churches. And so he came out and he said they found it. He found it, and I gave him $50 and he was all happy. And it's like, because you know, that was our entire life savings. That was everything we had. The only way we could get back home was with that money. And God kept it for us without us even knowing it, from a man who was already a Christian. And so we were so totally blown away that this guy saved our entire trip. Oh, Pat said it was worth, what, 23 years worth of salary? Yeah, and all that money. So we were really just blown away at how God blessed us that day. And we did make it back. Actually, it took less time to get back to town, through town on the way back, so we were very happy.
Praise God.
You know, when that happened, the first response of the people in that car is, let's just stop and pray. God is in control. What does the psalmist say? He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I can't tell you what resting is unless you've been there. When you know in the midst of trial that God is in charge, and you're not nervous, you're not fretting, you're resting. It's not as though everything is going to be okay, and that there are no worries, but there's just this incredible sense of peace that comes over you.